Hey, welcome back to Vic's Views. This is not a review. This is just me giving you my take and my view of the movie I just watched. I think about 3 or 4 days ago. It's called Prey. This is exactly how it sounds. It's called Prey. Now, this is a 2021 movie, and it's an hour and 27 minutes long. So you're not going to be too long into the movie. It's not one of those long, drawn out movies. You know what I mean? But anyway, these five guys go on a hiking trip into the wild. One guy, he's getting ready to get married. And, it's just five friends, man. They just, I think they end up going to like a party the night before. So they decide to all go hiking out into this remote area. And it's very remote. And this mysterious shooter starts shooting at them. And this shooter picks them off one by one. And I thought this movie actually was going to suck. I really did. I actually thought it was going to suck. I remember I kept watching it come across Netflix. I go, that looks just so dumb. I don't know what it was about the way Netflix does their, the way they have their, when you get on Netflix's account, and it'll give you like a little short play of what they're running from. But I kept saying, it just don't look that good. But I was bored one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to pop it in for I usually give movies like 4 or 5 minutes to get me hooked in, maybe 10. So I put it in, and, it's a foreign movie. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to keep watching it. And I kept watching it. And at first I was like, well, I can't get into the, trying to read the English that, it was in foreign language. I think it was I felt like they spoke German. I could be wrong, but this is a suspenseful thriller nightmare movie. But wow, this movie. As I kept watching it, at first, they were just having fun, and one of the guys is getting ready to get married, and then they're talking about some of their little. Their business, they had a business meeting with people, and they're trying to see if they can get this, this account, so they can, do something with it. And so they set the movie up, pretty well. But man, when that first guy got shot, he just got nicked. And so that's when they start yelling in the woods, telling them, hey, there's some people out here. Because they thought maybe the person shot one of their friends by himself, but luckily the guy just got nicked in the arm. But then when the second shot come by, then they all start ducking, so they all decide to run. So, I'm sitting there watching, I said, well, you guys should have a car somewhere, but knowing y'all, you probably don't have a car that far by, so, they probably have to run forever. But now they end up going to the car. So, they're running, looking and ducking and running and trying to get to the car. So they got to the car. I was like, all right, this is making sense. Because I can't stand movies that don't make sense. So they get to the car. And then this person shoots at them again. Well, this time they're turning around saying, hey, you're shooting at people. Then one of his friends like, what if they're shooting at us for real? And they said, they was like, there's no way, A person could just be shooting people, for the heck of it. And so they tried to get in the car. And when they tried to get in the car, they kept shooting. And whoever shot a glass out in the car. That's when they knew then that person was really serious about, trying to kill him. So they started taking serious. So when they tried to get in the car, they seen that whoever shot him shot tire. So they couldn't drive the car. So now they have to run for their lives. So that's how this movie's set up. So I was intrigued. I was hooked after that. And so they kept finding these little kids' toys planted in certain spots. And one guy takes one of them, puts it in his pocket. But then the movie progresses back up and on, and it shows flashbacks of the guy that's in love with this woman that he's getting ready to get married to. And then there was a little twist to that too, because he found out one of his buddies was banging his wife while they were getting ready to get married, and she had sexy pictures on his phone. And when he got shot, that same guy that's supposed to marry that girl was trying to save his life, and he looked at the phone, and It was pretty slick. It really was. But the twist of it is they finally found the person that was shooting them. But at first they was running for their lives. So what they did was they were running. They seen this woman. This, she's a fairly attractive lady. She was just staring down at the lake, man. And they said, "Hey, hey," and she finally turned around, and she was a pretty woman, and she just looked at him, and she started walking up slow, and she didn't have nothing in her hand. And they was like, they were talking in German, and he was like, "Hey, there's this crazy guy out there that's trying to kill us and everything like that," and she didn't say a word. She stoops down. She has a cover. She stoops down. She takes the cover off. She pulls out this rifle, man, and blasts that dude straight in the head. Boom! And it was pretty graphic, man, because it showed all the stuff coming out of his head, all the matter. But anyway, it was a chick. It was a chick. So, me, I'm like, hey, I got to find out what's going on, man. So as they're running for their life, she's going through the woods, picking them up one by one. So she's so it looks like they're at a real huge, out of the way, vast place where you can go hiking, and there's this settlement there that looked like it was set up for people that wants to go to like a camper site and have people teach them how to camp, and and they spend a few days there, and they probably have a guide taking them there. So when they got there, they went to this place that looked like somebody lived in it, and the guy got on his computer, and what happened was this guy had a cell phone, and him and his buddy, before these 5 people came, he was filming his buddy, and his buddy was drunk, and he had a rifle. And then they said, it showed the guy with the camera, and his buddy was drunk, and they were both been drinking, and they said, "Oh man, check that girl out." And the girl raises up, and there's this very cute little girl she was singing to, which was her daughter. She had the cutest blonde hair. And she gets up, and they were drunk, and she goes, she was talking, German, saying, "Hey, put that gun away, And she and they was thinking she was sexy, and it was going to give her a hard time. And the gun went off and shot her little kid in the head. So she lost it. Apparently, maybe they dropped the gun, and she took the gun, and she killed them too. So any man or anything that stepped in that whole area, she was picking them off. And so as the movie went on, there's no happy ending in this movie, to be honest with you guys. There was no happy ending. After it's all said and done, she picked them all off except for 2, and one of them she nicked real. She hurt one real bad, and the guy that was trying to save that guy and was trying to help him because he was hurt real bad. He was the guy who was banging his fiance that he's getting ready to get married because he got a hold of his cell phone. And so he was trying to save his life because he was wounded real bad. But then he found out he was banging his wife, his going to be wife. Then his going to be fiance had a message on there that says, "Tell my future husband I said hi." Oh, it was just disgusting. I was like, oh man, I've been like, man, dude, you're on your own. Screw you, man. I've been trying to save your life, and you've been banging my wife the whole time. Oh, that's why I was getting into the movie. Well, then, he takes him and shoves him in this like little cave, but you can get out, and he puts him in there. He still had compassion to try to help him. So it was just him and that girl. So they had a little battle, because he was exhausted. So he kind of, he snuck up from behind her and he tackled her, and then she turned around. She started whooping on his, she started beating up on him, but then, he overpowered her. And then he was like, "I know what happened." And so he took the gun and he pointed at her, and he took the gun and he threw it off the cliff. And he was just like saying, he was like telling her I understood. And she never spoke the whole time in this movie. And so she just looked, and she was in so much pain and so much shock. And when she looked at him, she just backed up, and she just backed up off the cliff and fell to her death. Craziest thing. I tell you, Prey is one of those movies where if you look at it, you'd be like, man, this movie looks kind of, But hey, I was surprised. But anyway, that's my take, and that's my view on this movie. I think it's pretty good. I think you guys ought to give it a shot. I think it's very good. You have to stay with it. But it's one of those Netflix movies, and one of them foreign Netflix movies that Netflix end up having on their service, man, and I think they did a good job. So God bless. Take care. Drop a like if you want, and we'll catch you in the next video. We'll see you.